welcome to another Coaster Time video. Sorry if the audio is bad. The headphone that I was using the microphone I was using used a headphone jack. My new phone doesn't have a headphone jack, and I don't have a dongle, so I can't just plug in the charger to headphone jack adapter, so I don't have that. But yeah, so in today's video we are ranking the top 9 best coasters at Knott's Berry Farm. Why 9 and not 10? Well, I haven't ridden Timberline Twister. That would probably be number 10, but I haven't ridden it, so who knows? Maybe it's better than Accelerator. Probably not. But now, let's get on to number 9. As you walk through the boardwalk section, you might think about riding Hang Time, an actually good ride, but instead you choose to ride Coast Rider. Coast Rider would be a good ride. Shin guards. Ow. The shin guards are so tight on this, but the shin guards on Monument Revenge, those are how you do shin guards right. If somebody has too long of legs, they can still ride it. Their shins will be protected. With this, the shin guards are just unnecessary. The shin guards are way too unnecessary. I do not know why anybody would like this ride. I actually liked it the first 2 times I rode it. But then third time, those shin guards, they killed my legs. Also, it doesn't help that this ride is one of the only rides that doesn't have a cubby, so you have to carry your backpack on it or any other loose items onto it, which is not safe. It's just a really bad ride. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but it's just a really, really bad ride. And number 8 is Jaguar. One word. Ouch. Again, it's very painful. This time it's not because of shin guards. It's because you are banging against the hard trains, and it hurts a lot. So that's why this is number 9. It's not a very good ride. So let's hop on the POV and let's show you how painful this ride really is. So, at the start of the ride, you're going to start heading up a lift hill, and it's a pretty fast lift hill, but nothing too special with the lift hill. If you are going to ride this ride, it should be a one and done. It's not very intense, and it's rough. Okay, so you head down the first drop at a maximum angle of 20 degrees, and those laterals will slam you into the side of these hard cars with no padding. Laterals can be fun. If it's a hard car, it's not fun. And then look, there's a straight section. You go up a bit, you go straight section through Monument Revenge's loop. I don't think Monument Revenge can run when Jaguar's going through the loop. You go through some turns, and then, oh look, another lift hill. Finally, a break from the pain. You head up this lift hill, and it's a really fast lift hill, and then you go down, and you just go down a bit, and then you go up. This ride is like if Big Thunder Mountain didn't have any airtime, had tons of laterals, and they hurt. It's not intense. It's as intense as Big Thunder Mountain, but it hurt. Ow. Like a lot. It hurts a lot. And it's not fun. And then you're just going up into the hill. I don't know why this ride was built. You just do a helix and you're back at the station. And you might think about riding a good coaster now. A good coaster. And number 7 is Pony Express. Pony Express is kind of forgettable ride. It took me like a minute of thinking just to remember. Oh yeah, Pony Express. As I was thinking, okay, my 6th is that, but what's my 7th? Because Pony Express is very forgettable, but it's fun. It's fun. It's not a very intense launch. It's fun. This was actually the second coaster I ever rode at Knott's. The first one was the Ouch Coaster, also known as Coast Rider. But this was the second coaster I rode at Knott's. It's a fun ride. It's not very intense. It's not meant to be intense. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be a family ride Why it has a 4 in intensity, I do not know, but it's a family ride. It's kind of, with restraints, they staple you every single time, so that's not fun. So try and leave some room. But if you don't get stapled, then you're lucky. And something actually happened where I was in line for this, and I saw a friend just sitting on the brake run. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the POV and give you a walkthrough of this ride. Also, it's a very, very short ride. Okay, so POV of Pony Express. Pony Express is a fun ride. It's not like a one and done. You can do it multiple times. It's fun. Okay, so we just need to wait for the train on the left to go by, and then we can launch. And here we go. We're about to launch. And you launch. You go up that. Kind of feels like you're about to fly out of your seat, but you're not. And then you go down, you go up, you bank to the right, you go down, you go up, you do a small bank, you actually get your picture taken, you do some S-bends, and turn around, and brake run. Once again, very short ride. So Sierra Sidewinder, it is a mock ride spinning coaster, not an extreme spinning coaster. It's in Camp Snoopy, but it should not be there. It's very intense, and it pulls 3.5 Gs, which isn't a lot, but it pulls that for like 3 seconds. That's very intense for a family ride. Very intense. And the spinning makes it very fun. There's not a lot I can talk about this ride. It's just fun, and there's one loader ground helix, which is very forceful. So let's go on to the POV. So you can see exactly what your ride experience on Sierra Sidewinder will be like. Okay, so you're going to start heading up the left hill, and depending on where you're seating your ride, you're going to be facing forward or facing backwards. I've ridden both facing forward and facing backward, and let me tell you, facing backward is kind of uncomfortable because you have to keep yourself up, and when you're like facing forward, the force of gravity is keeping you up. But when you're facing backwards, you have to keep yourself up. And you're going to start heading down this drop, and that is when you're going to start spinning. This ride doesn't spin too much because it's not controlled to be, like, super crazy. It's just free spinning. And you're going to go through a couple turns. And then there's a low-to-the-ground helix coming up, which pulls 3.5 Gs. Right there. That pulls 3.5 Gs on a family coaster. Oh my gosh, that is crazy. Then you're going to go through some more helixes and brake run. It's not a very long ride, but it's a very fun ride, and if you want to introduce like a kid to G-Forces, this is a good ride to do it on. Next up, we have Montezuma's Revenge, a Schwarzkopf shuttle loop. This is one of 6 Schwarzkopf's left, not Schwarzkopf, but 6 Schwarzkopf shuttle loops left in the U.S. It's very fun. Not left in the U.S., it's left in the world. It's the only one left in the U.S. It's very fun. And that loop is so forceful. It's a Schwarzkopf loop, so what do you expect? But it's so forceful, and then you get to traverse it backwards. That's just crazy, how you get to traverse it backwards. And then it's really cool. You go up, there are 2 spikes on the front. Both provide fantastic airtime. I don't really need to show POV because it's pretty simple and you can probably guess what happens in the ride. But it's really cool. It's a really fun ride. I don't know whether I like the front or back better. With the back you get like not back. With the front you get a tiny bit of hang time, but the back is more intense. So I don't know which one I prefer. But, yeah. So we're moving on to number 4 now, and everybody has, I'm pretty sure, the same top 4. But where those are placed depends from person to person. Number 4 on the list is Silver Bullet. Silver Bullet is a B&M invert. It goes upside down 6 times. It has 5 inversions, even though it goes upside down 6 times because, well, I mean, unless you count a cover roll as 2 inversions. I counted it as 1 inversion that goes upside down twice. So I don't know if that makes sense or not, but it goes upside down 6 times. It does not have 6 loops. GP think it has 6 loops. It has 1 loop. It's a pretty good loop. But yeah. So this ride has that famous Cobra roll over the front entrance to the park. It is very intense. It's actually my first major thrill coaster. Before this, the most intense ride I went on was Montezuma's Revenge, which isn't that intense. It goes upside down twice. It's got a max speed of 55 miles per hour, which this ride also has. And so this was my first big coaster that goes upside down. To B&M Invert, I don't have any other inverts to compare it to because I haven't ridden any Batman the Rides or any other inverts, but I'm going to ride a Batman the Ride. So let's go on to the POV so you can see exactly what happens in Silver Bullet. Here we go, POV of Silver Bullet. Silver Bullet is in B&M Invert, I already said that. But so you start heading up this chain lift, and this is a very slow chain lift hill, as you can see. Yeah, and you also have to walk up steps to get to the load platform, or you could. I think there's a ramp for disabled people with you just go through the exit. But so you start heading up a lift hill, and this ride never has a long line because it's got really good capacity. And then you go down into a little pre-drop, and that's kind of a bit rough. It just dips you and it hurts. And then you start heading down this not steep drop, but right here you start picking up some speed into a vertical loop. It is the only loop on this ride, so GP don't get it confused. You go into an overbanked turn, and you go into that signature Cobra roll. This doesn't really do anything, except for one of my favorite parts of the ride is right here at the bottom of the Cobra roll. You're actually picking up some speed. You go into the Heartline roll. You go into a banked turn, and then you go into a corkscrew. You twist out into another corkscrew over a lake, and the final helix. This is a very forceful helix. It pulls 3 Gs for a very long time. And then you hit the brake run. As I said before, Silver Bullet is a very fun ride. It's not too intense. This is a lot of people's first big roller coaster that goes upside down a lot. So, with that said, let's get on to the top 3. I'm pretty sure everybody put Silver Bullet at 4, but let's go on to the top 3, where a lot of people's lists differ. And my number 3 is obviously Hang Time. Hang Time is a Gerstlauer Infinity dive coaster. Some people say it's not a dive coaster. I say it's a dive coaster. Just because it's not by B&M doesn't make it not a dive coaster. It's just, if you choose to call it a dive coaster and it has a holding brake, to me that means it's a dive coaster. It's very fun. Front row is the best row on it. My favorite ride on this was a front row night ride when it was absolutely hauling. Very fun. So always ride in the front. The front is the best. It's got that really scary vertical lift hill, and it's got a beyond vertical drop, the only beyond vertical drop in California. It is my only Gerstlauer ever, and my only dive coaster ever. That'll change soon because for my birthday next year, I'm going to SeaWorld San Diego for their B&M dive coaster. They're getting Mako. So let's go on to the POV so you can see what it's like to ride Hang Time. The lift hill is a very fun part, but we're gonna skip that. So you're on the holding brake, and then it's gonna release you, and you're gonna get some pretty good airtime over that 96-degree drop. You go up into an element. I don't know what to call it. I like to call it a inverting, non-inverting loop because it feels like a non-inverting loop when it goes upside down. People say that's a corkscrew. I say it's an element. You go up here into, I don't know what to call that. It's got a lot of weird elements. You go into an overbanked turn, and the best part of the ride, little pop of airtime. Reactor airtime. You go up into a cobra roll, and this is the best cobra roll in the world. And then you get a bit of airtime popping into the brake run. And that ends hang time. Hang time isn't very long, but it doesn't need to be, because it's very, very fun. A ride does not have to be long to be good. It does not have to be intense to be good. It is just fun. Plain fun. My number 2 is Ghost Rider, and I know this is going to get a lot of people mad, because it's a lot of people's favorite ride at the park. Here's what I'm thinking. It is just nearly worse than my favorite ride if you're riding my favorite ride in the front row, and if you're riding Ghost Rider in the back row. Ghost Rider back row is the best row on Ghost Rider. You get so much airtime. And the prelim section before you start heading up the lift hill, I don't know how you get so much speed during that. It's just a little stupid. You go down a mini drop, you go through a turn, and you head up a slow lift hill. And you get so much speed. Thankfully, Ghost Rider usually runs 2 trains. It runs gold and silver trains. It's a comfy Millennium Flyer trains. Very comfy trains, especially because of the intense laterals on the ride. If it did not have comfy trains, then the laterals would hurt, like, a lot. So now let's get on to the POV so you can see what it's like to ride Ghost Rider. So next up, not next up, but here's the POV. In this little pre-lip section, you gain so much speed, and I do not know why. You gain so much speed, and you get some great laterals right there. And here we go. We're on our way up the lift hill. This is a very slow lift hill. It's a wooden coaster lift hill. What did you expect? Super slow. Wooden coaster lift hills are not fast at all. There were like 3 times on the ride, or on the lift hill, where I was like, here we go, the ride's about to start. There are 3 main parts where that happens. And then you get to the top and the ride actually does start, but it's a very, very long lift hill. It goes up 100 feet. And then, right here, the ride starts. You get some great floater airtime going down this drop, and it's insane. And then once you're heading down here, you like literally are having trouble breathing. You go through some airtime hills, and you go through a little turnaround, and this is like kind of you thinking, well, why do we need to do this little turnaround? And then you go down, and you get some more airtime. You go up, you turn, you go down some more, you get some more airtime. It's got a lot of airtime. You get some great laterals here in the mid-course. The former mid-course used to be right here. Now there's no mid-course, and here it is, the best part of the ride. That second drop, you get ejected out of your seat and stay there for like 3 seconds. And then you go into airtime hills followed by laterals. You go into airtime hills followed by laterals. And that is such a weird feeling to be out of your seat and pushed a direction. It is such a weird feeling, but it is so cool. And you're going to pop up, you're going to think the ride's over, but nope, there's still more. You're going to pop up, you're going to think the ride's over, but nope, there's more. You go through some laterals, and you go past the previous structure, you go down, you go through that, and that's really cool because it provides an actually really cool effect in real life. And you finally hit the brake runs on this monsterly long ride. Now to get to number 1, and if you know the rides at the park, then you know what this is. And my number 1 is Accelerator, the 8th fastest accelerating roller coaster in the world, and the 2nd fastest accelerating roller coaster in America. It is very intense. That launch goes from 0 to 82 miles per hour in 2.3 seconds. Boom, you're off. I'm very lucky to have this intense of a coaster at my home park. This fast of an accelerating roller coaster at my home park. This is a crazy ride. It's not very long, but it's a short burst of energy that lasts. And this is only numbered 1 if it's in the front row. Any other row, not number 1 worthy, but front row. Wow. The front row just blew me away. Also, here's a tip for if you're ever riding it. They're going to be like, if you put your hands up in the station, they're going to say, hands down during launch. So don't have your hands up in the station. But as soon as you dispatch, just raise your hands up. It is better with your hands up. You get some good airtime on the top hat. It's very fun. So let's go on to the POV so you can see what it's like to ride the best coaster at Knott's Berry Farm. So you're in the station. It rolls back a bit. And faster than you can say the name of the ride, you're going 82 miles per hour. Accelerator, 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 accelerator. Well, maybe faster than you can say it 4 times. But then you go over a massive top hat. You get some pretty good airtime there. You go down the drop, and you go through a couple overbank turns. And with the second overbank turn, there's a pretty good head chopper effect. And it banks like a lot. It almost feels like you're going upside down. And then it ends. And one time when I was riding the ride, I sang a song. I'm only going to sing you part of it because copyright reasons. It goes like, da-na-na-na-na-down-down, ba-da-da-na-na-na-na. And then later, I was eating at the restaurant right next to the accelerator. And what song played over the speakers? Da-da-da-na-na-down-down, da-da-na-na-na-na-na. And I was like, wow, that's a weird coincidence. You can actually hear me talking about that in Coaster Fox's vlog. Maybe. I don't know if he cut it out or not. But, yeah. So accelerator is my number one. And this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, subscribe and leave a like. If you want to be notified for my videos, then click the notification bell. If you don't have to do that, but if you want to be notified, hit the notification bell. And I will see you all next time I upload. Sorry this video came out late. I know I said the video already ended, but I forgot to cite my sources, which is something you should always do. Shout out to Nintendo Coaster or something like that. I don't really know how to pronounce his name, but he does great off rides. I used a lot of them in this video. And shout out to Coaster Studios. I used a lot of his off rides in this video. And shout out to Knott's Berry Farm YouTube channel. I use their POVs a lot in this video.